All right, we are at time, so we can officially begin. Again, please continue introducing yourselves in the chat, and also telling us a bit more about who you are. But with that, I would love to welcome you, everyone, um, to the very last session of our SAFE4ALL onboarding learning program. It has been a great journey to have most of you join us from April all the way until now, and we're really happy to wrap up today's or the conversations we've been having on very fundamental issues around climate change, climate actions, resilience building, with what it really looks like to build buy-in and sustain support for climate action. Okay. So today we have a very exciting lineup prepared for you. We have two special guests. The first guest is Andrew McDonald, who's from the city of Cape Town. He's a principal professional officer at the Catchment and Storm Water Management Department, and he'll be sharing with us their big flagship program around restoring waterways throughout the city. And then we have Frank Anor, who is the CEO of the Trans-African Hydrometeorological Observatory, or TAMO, but also a lecturer and researcher with TU Delft. And we're also really happy to welcome him to share with us about the work he's doing around expanding access to climate services and weather stations across Africa. So for today, we have quite a simple schedule. So we have our welcome, and then we will have a presentation from Frank around the weather stations that TAMO is building across some of the countries we work in. And then we'll have the presentation from Andrew on the waterways, on the Livable Urban Waterways Program from Cape Town. And the hope for today and the goal for today is to really get concrete examples on what building buy-in for implementing and sustaining climate action looks like. Again, please sign up for if you're not already signed up, sign up for our newsletter, where we'll be sharing a lot of information around the work we're doing with the SAFE4ALL program, and follow us on some of our social media so that you can also keep in touch with our progress there. Now, throughout the last couple of sessions, we've been really digging deep into what climate action looks like. In the last session, we really went through what adaptation and mitigation actions look like. We're preparing for the impacts of climate change and reducing the causes of climate change can be. And we've started discussing around some solutions that have been implemented from the SAFE4ALL program, from our guests, but also from you, from our audience. Just to recap that, please, there you go, there's the poll. If you've been taking climate adaptation actions, and if you have, please share with us in the chat so that we can record that and also discuss that throughout the session. But for now, if you can see the poll, yes, please fill the poll so that we can see how many of you are already working on climate adaptation on the ground. Wonderful. Let me end and share the results. It seems the majority of the people who've joined here or who've answered the poll have been working on climate adaptation actions on the ground. And so by doing that, then we all can see from our experiences that climate action, any intervention we try to bring is really not something that we can do in isolation. It's actually something that is shared and needs coordination among multiple stakeholders, ranging from community stakeholders, beneficiaries, community-based organizations, social advocates, to research and knowledge institutions that generate the data and information we need, to financing institutions that need or that generate or that we access resources, financial resources from, to technical partners, and of course, government stakeholders that manage the policy and financial means to climate action, but also political leaders that can really move that work along. So I also have another quiz for you, just to see, especially for those who have been working on climate action, given the nature of all the coordination that needs to happen, which stage within the implementation of your work have you needed support or needed to collaborate with different stakeholders? that I've mentioned before, or any other ones that you have encountered? Is it understanding the root problem? Is it around data? Is it around designing the action or the solution? Is it around resource allocation and funds? Around implementation support, around maintenance and sustainability, which is very critical, and of course, monitoring, evaluation, and learning. Would love to hear from you where you know have found more need to collaborate or more need to build buy-in. Right. Yep. It's of course across all of them. We can't again work in isolation, but there is more answers around designing climate action. In the work that I do as well, that is one of the places or the stages of our work within the Resilient Cities Network that we really value different types of inputs and making sure that we create the spaces, inclusionary spaces for people to contribute to what a climate action solution looks like. So I definitely agree with that and the answers there. Right. And I just want to leave with a reflection of everything that we've been learning throughout this knowledge series around resilience and what building resilience looks like and what qualities need to be embodied into the systems and the projects and the ideas that we bring to the table when we are really trying to build resilience against climate change, but also all the other social, economic, and demographic issues that we are facing today. And we've discussed in the past, 7 qualities around being reflective, resourceful enough to act, robust formulation of solutions, and redundancies or backup contingency plans, flexibility to really adapt to changing environments. But we also really focused around inclusiveness and also integrated planning, so that plans that account for the needs of many and promote coordinated actions. And without these two, it would be really critical to embody the principles of resilience and to bring them to the work that we're doing.